Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hyperconscious Podcast. Alan, what is hyperconscious?
Once you understand why something is the way that it is, now you have the power to change it. Great conversations with great people and great questions are the keys to the kingdom of unlocking your consciousness.
Every single action that you do starts as a thought. When you control the way you think, you will control the way you act, and you will control the way you live. That is hyperconscious. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hyperconscious Podcast is proudly sponsored by our friend and mentor, David Meltzer of the Playbook Podcast. He was kind enough to join us on episode 144 and 135.
Folks, it has become Kevin and I's mission in life to help you realize that the life of your dreams is right on the other side of you becoming the greatest version of yourself. Let us help you do that.
I rarely do these things twice in such a short amount of time, but you guys impress me. I believe in people that provide value and of our service. You two guys are on your way to huge fulfillment, purpose, and profitability, and I'm looking forward to helping you both.
We appreciate that more than you know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyperconscious Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where we got to sit down with Britt Franks, who is actually speaking at Top Notch Live 2020. Today, for episode number 267, we are going to do a 5-minute clinic on identifying your wins.
But before we jump into this episode, first I want you to go to the hyperconsciouspodcast.com, click on join, hashtag Hyperconscious Nation. Folks, imagine being in a group of like-minded people who all have goals and dreams and who care about what you care about. Join us.
Oh, wow, that was fire. Very to the point.
Thank you, man.
And January 25th, please come and help us help you change your life. I had a moment the other night where I was thinking, it's unreasonably awesome that we get to share the stage with Mark Metry, Brant Pinvidic, Joanna De Pena, Britt Franks, Tori Aletto, Nikki Saunders. Who am I missing? 6?
And me?
Me and you.
Yeah.
Wow.
You and I.
This is going to be a next level event, guys. This is the first of many. We want you here because we believe in these events so much. That's why we're putting them on. So, Top Notch Live 2020, January 25th, UMass Lowell Conference Center, Lowell, Massachusetts. Be there or be square.
www.topnotchlive2020.com.
2020.
All
right, so today we're doing a 5-minute clinic on identifying your wins, and the reason behind this is Alan and I, from our various human studies, sounds weird, and various clients, are learning very quickly that most people, especially if you are E, so if you're emotional first, you probably do not celebrate your wins nearly enough, and if it's not a habit, I don't think it comes naturally.
Right.
So I had somebody reach out to me recently, and they listened to the belief episode. The number one thing holding you back is probably lack of belief. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it. But I have been, in the morning, I write down wins for the day previous.
Right.
That's what I've been doing. I'm going to start doing it at night. But I realized very quickly, so Alan and I were on a call the other day, and before the call, I was thinking to myself, I don't even have any wins to bring to this call. Now, is that true? Did I not have any wins, or did I not have any wins in my consciousness because I hadn't been focused on them? Exactly. It was the second one. I have had a ton of wins lately. We're doing 6 events this year. We just locked in David Meltzer to be a speaker at one of our events, which is the biggest win ever.
In March.
So I have so many wins, but the problem is what you focus on, you see more of. What you don't focus on, you don't see. So if you're the type of person who doesn't feel like you're winning, if you don't feel like you're making progress, when's the last time you focused on your wins? When's the last time you focused on your progress? You are going to feel what you focus on.
When's the last time that you wrote down before bed and reflected on the day at all the things you did really well? Dissect your successes is what we're talking about here. So your main takeaway for this episode was basically stack your small wins. E's, who are emotionally driven, typically never think about their wins enough. And then we did a 10-second blip prior to the episode. What was that?
Oh, boy. So you will always feel like you're losing if you don't identify your wins along the way. And the other thing is, if you don't identify your wins, you're going to wake up like, it would be very easy for me to say, like, you're going to share the stage with Mark Metry and Brant Pinvidic? There's no way you could do that. Especially if I don't identify the fact that I've already done speeches.
Right.
And I've jumped to next levels every time I've done those. If you focus on the progress that you've made, you can keep making bigger leaps, actually,
Right.
if you focus on the progress.
And you'll believe in yourself more.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned progress, because my take on this 5-minute clinic about identifying your wins, what is winning for you?
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing. He's saying more consistently look at your wins, but what is a win to you? For me, I do this thing called reflect and perfect. I took that from Kevin.
Stole it from me. He didn't take, he stole. Straight
Right.
up stole it.
So
from
I
me.
have my critical numbers. One example is number of podcast appearances. This would be one of those. Okay, so what I do each day is I track, look at my calendar, and I add up the amount of reps. So to me, it's reflect and perfect. I have last rep and then next rep, last rep and next rep. Because I'm mastery driven and I want to be better at my craft every single day, better every day, I want to improve. To me, if I'm improving in a given arena that I want to master, then I'm winning, regardless of whether or not I quote unquote win or lose based on the result that I was trying to get. For you though, are you more results driven in terms of like, did I make enough money here, or did I give a good performance here, or am I improving here? So for me, it's identifying your wins is important, and doing that consistently is important. But what does winning mean to you? Like, really figure out, when do I feel like a winner and when do I feel like a loser? For me personally, when I'm not improving in my craft, I feel like I'm losing, but that might not be the same for you.
And also, just to touch on what Alan said, the fact that you are taking action in the first place
Right.
is a win if you wouldn't have taken the action previously. So you can find wins if you search for them, just like you can find losses if you search for them. But if you feel like you're struggling, if you don't feel like you're making progress, I think it's more important for you to focus on the wins. So my challenge to you is try to build this habit. Every night before bed, take 5 minutes to write down the 5 biggest wins for the day. And if you're struggling to find them, start digging. Maybe you had a moment where you normally would get insecure and you didn't. Maybe you had a tough conversation with a family member. Maybe you went to the gym. Maybe you skipped coffee in the morning. Whatever it is for you, like Alan said, get clear on what is winning to you and then focus on that. And I guarantee you're going to feel yourself locking that in through the day. Like, oh, that's a win for today. I'll be able to write that down later. So that is my challenge to you.
I like that challenge. Last thing I'll say, and then we'll go because we don't have the timer out, is this.
Jeff did.
Imagine you went on Facebook Live in our group and you told your story. The fact that you had the courage to do that is the win. But if you looked at the video and didn't like your performance, even though it was your first video ever, you might consider that a loss. That's actually a huge win, in my opinion. And that's the thing. You have to figure out and become hyper-conscious of when you feel like you're winning and losing so that maybe you can shift that a little bit.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, you will never feel like you're winning if you do not identify your wins along the way. We hope you enjoyed this. Up next, we are going to do a small talks episode on money and why it is necessary.
Necessary.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Talk soon.
Bye.